Hi, boys and girls. My name is Kelly Meyer, and I am going to show you how we're going to create a map of the 13 colonies using our Google Classroom. I'm in our 4th grade general education classroom. I'm going to click on classwork. And in social studies, you're going to find number 5 is create a map of 13 colonies. So I'm going to open it up. Now, when you look at the directions for this assignment, you're going to say, it says, follow the directions in the wild rivers, dense forest, complete the 13 colonies map accordingly. Use your drawing tools to fill in the map. Use the attached links for reference. So one of the things I put on here are, we have a list of our directions. We have 5 things we're looking for on the map. We're going to label the rivers. We're going to find some of the harbors. We're going to find the mountain ranges, and we're going to identify the New England, middle, and southern colonies. Now on this assignment, there are some attachments. So this is the original, the first thing, wild rivers, dense forest. There is something for you to read. The original, and it describes the different groups. And then there are a list of parts that you are going to be putting on your map. You'll notice that those 5 directions are what is exactly here. I copied and pasted it. So please read the information, and then you're going to be able to use those 5 parts here. What I also did on here is I have attached a middle colony map, a southern colony map, a New England colony map, and an American colony map. That's what these are. They looked very similar to what our maps look like when we are in the classroom. When you use Control plus or Control minus, I can come in larger, or I can shrink smaller the map, so I can make sure to use it. Also, you can use these maps. It tells you what the main exports were. It identifies where the colony boundaries were. As you can see, Maine and New York and New Hampshire had parts. There are 2 different shades here. We have the Green Mountains, and then we have Massachusetts. Goes all the way up into Maine, parts of New Hampshire. So we have, even though Massachusetts is down here, we do have parts of the colony that extended farther north than what we're talking about. There you go. So Hudson River, Connecticut River, some islands there. In order to go back, I just have to click back onto my classroom tab, and I have my middle colonies map, my New England colonies map, and my southern colonies map. Did I show you middle? Middle's the first one. There we go. Now we have the American colonies. There's also a map here where all 13 colonies are together. You will use these maps to help you. This down here, we have New England, middle, and British colonies. So you can look. So when we look at our classwork, the very next thing we have is the map that you're going to fill out. So when I open this up, we have a black line master. And what I have done is I have added all the rivers and bays over here. I have a few more bays I need to add. We'll do those together. I have put the mountain ranges labels over here, and I have listed the, I don't know, I have 13, the 12 colonies. So you may, because this map is small, what I was thinking is you can take these numbers and locate them right on where they should go. And so you would put a number 1 where you would write the names of the colonies over here, and then you write the numbers on the boundaries. So let's look back at the American, let's look back at, start with New England. Here we're going to start with the New England colonies. So when I look at this, I know I have Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire. So I'm going to go to my map. And I actually am going to open up my teacher example. I don't want to work on the one that you'll use. So I'll write We know that number one is Massachusetts. Then we had Rhode Island. We had Connecticut and New Hampshire. So we can write the words, the names of each title there. Now we have to find where is Massachusetts. Where is Rhode Island? Oops, I forgot the O. Connecticut and New Hampshire. Now let's look at the middle colonies. I'm going to move this down again so I can get to the middle colonies. Here we are. So we have New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. So I'm going to go back to my teacher copy and I'm going to write those in. New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and what was the last one? New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Now, if I can't remember, I can go back to my maps. New York, New Jersey. Oh, Delaware's the one I forgot. So Delaware. Delaware. And then I have my southern colonies. So I know that is Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. The one thing to remember is that when we look at some maps, North Carolina and South Carolina are actually connected because at one point they were one big colony and it took some time before they were separated. Now in my directions, when we look at the directions, sorry, my map is getting small. When we look at the directions, we have to identify, so we have to identify the rivers and we have to identify the harbors and the mountains. Because I have those text boxes there, I'm going to save that for last. I'm going to put in some colors so I know where I have to find New England and colonies and I have to color them red. So let's go see how I can do this. So I have to figure out where Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New Hampshire. So when you look at your tools up here, you have some fill colors. You have this line. And when I click on line, the arrow line, I have the scribble. So this scribble is going to be good because this means I can trace. So I know here's Massachusetts, here's Connecticut. So I'm going to make my color. Let's see, what color should I use? I had to use red, correct? Let's go back. Yes, New England colonies red. So when I'm scribbling, I want to make sure that it is red. Now we'll test over here. So that's blue. We don't want that. So go back, scribble, line, scribble. Now tools. I'm going to take my line and I'm going to trace around. Oops, I have to go straight up here. That's New Hampshire. And around Maine and come down and around Now, once that's in there, I believe I can take my line color and I can turn it red and I can make it thicker. So there we go. So right now I use my scribble tool and I'm going to that's about right. And then I can do fill. Line color, red, thickness, big. Oh, I think I was at 12. 12. So there, I have highlighted New England in red. Could I go in and start shading that in? Yes. Do I want to do it now? Not right this second. Here's paint. So I could actually take, I don't know what it did that for, but now I'm going to go and find, let's see, what color did we need? We needed the middle colonies green. So when I go back and search, I want my scribble. I want the border to be green. And I want a little bit thicker. I'm gonna do 8 instead. Oh, see, it changed it again. So I have to go back. Okay. Now I'm gonna do my lines first. Scribble. So here's New York. And then trace around New York. And Pennsylvania is this round one. And Delaware is actually this wiggly one over here. And New Jersey is right above it. So all of those and to make sure that I got the right ones, I'm going to go look at my map. That's the whole New England one, right? We're going to, there we go. So when I look over on my map, oops, teacher, I have New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware's down here, and New Jersey. Now I'm going to look again. Delaware. I think what I did was I ended up doing a little bit more than I was supposed to and got a little bit of Maryland in there. See, Delaware's right here, and this is Maryland. So I need to go find my erasing tool. I'm going to edit, and I'm going to go to cut. Oops, so that cut the colors out, and maybe I can go back, 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 back. And then I can get my scribble tool out again, and I can make sure that I get it just where I want it. Okay, oops, move the whole background. So scribble tool. And I find New York, Pennsylvania. Now I have to go in a little bit. New Delaware is that little triangle. There's New Jersey, and this island is part of New York. And then I can go back to border color, and that's supposed to be green, and make it a little thicker. 4-point works. Oops. I don't know why it did that. Let's find the scribbles again. Scribble tool, not arrow tool. Scribble. Getting good at finding where they go. And I locked it in. Line weight is going to be 8. Color is green. There we go. That's a little bit better. And so then we have the southern colonies. Now, some of us might know what this last state is down here. That's Florida. But at this time in history, that region of the colonies was actually Spanish. That was a Spanish territory. We have these last places here. So we're gonna again get to the scribble. Let's look at our map. So we have Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia, and Maryland. Those are the ones we have to do. Okay, so I'm gonna find my teacher map. And I know that I'm gonna go from the green line all the way down here. What color was it again? I have to do southern orange. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna change the color to orange. Oops, I have to draw first, right? So scribble tool. And I'm going to outline, oh, make sure you're not dragging your stuff away. Okay, and scribble tool again. Okay, I'm gonna follow this line. That is Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Go all the way around it. Remember, this guy's Chesapeake Bay, which is Maryland. And follow that line, and they're all attached. So again, now I'm going to change that to orange. That doesn't look like orange. Let's try a different color. Let's do weird. Let's see what happens when we make it big. Ah, there we go. Orange. Let's try brighter orange. Now, I can color these areas in, but right now, because I am trying to make sure that I can fit everything and see it, I'm just going to color around them. So in order to make sure that, I'm gonna I'm gonna click into here. Okay, I have to get out of the, oh, I'm still in there. So I have to go back to edit. And let's see. Black, oh, orange, and then edit. Insert, no, we don't need to insert. Arrange, tools, no. Why aren't these opening up now? Huh. So what I was gonna tell you is we have to take these. My computer is frozen. So then what you're going to do, oh, it's saving, all changes saved. So now I have to figure out text box. Aha, maybe we can get it in there now. Okay, so yes, so that's how I did it. I clicked on text box, this button here with the T in it, and then I was able to move these. So I have to find the Ohio River. So remember, we have these maps, and that says, this was the French territories here. There's the Appalachian Mountains. All the blue words are going to be, ooh, a Chesapeake Bay I can put in. I see where that is. So I'm going to find the Chesapeake Bay. And when the arrows are on 2, I can move it, sort of. Oops. Oops, I'm going to use the undo tool to get it back to where it was. And you can actually move all of these guys just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get on to, remember you have to do text, okay. So I want this box to move, so I want to wait until, okay. And then I can slide this over and put it over here. the Chesapeake Bay. Where'd it go? Huh. Again, undo, undo. There it is. So we have the Chesapeake Bay there. And I'm going to watch this. I can cut it, and then I can put it over here, and I can copy. Where'd it go? Text box. Oh, I have to do paste. That's what I have to do. Let's go back. Okay. Text box. And I'm gonna cut, copy. Maybe I can just slide it. There we go. Whoa. Oh, it's not in there. Chesapeake Bay needs to be a little bit lower. Okay. Let's see if I can get these to move. So I need to, Appalachian Mountains are gonna go over here. Oh, that worked. Chesapeake Bay is just being, and then you can rotate it onto its side by finding the T and spreading it out, and then I can put it right on top of there because that's where it is. So we can smooth that out. So the Appalachian Mountains are there. The Allegheny Mountains. Those, I think, when we look at our work, the Allegheny Mountains are going to be in Pennsylvania. So, but it doesn't look on that map, does it? So we're gonna have to see if we can find it. Appalachian Mountains doesn't go up to the Allegheny. How about this one? That doesn't have it either. Let's see. Huh. So we can always go Allegheny Mountains of West Virginia. I'll click on a map, make sure I can find them. West Virginia, it says. So I'm going to go back into my teacher's one, move it over again. Make it bigger. There we go. So the Allegheny Mountains, so Appalachian Mountains are here. This is Allegheny Mountains are right about here in West Virginia. So we're going to take them, put them over here. Oops. Didn't move. The word didn't move. You want those words to move. And we can alter it. The reason why, now do you see how they're underneath the writing? We can go to an area called arrange, and we can do order, and we can say bring forward. And we can get the drawing, and we can say arrange, order, send back. There we go. So you bring front. So now it's on that line so you can see. So the Appalachian Mountains, move these up a little bit. Go. And then again, arrange, order, bring front. And you can get your work right on top of there. So we have the Appalachian Mountains, we have Allegheny Mountains, the Catskill Mountains. We have, those are another, the Catskills are actually up in here. What we want, the reason why you want to know this is because all of these mountain ranges are actually were the border of the colonies as the population grew. Now, when you see all of these different rivers and bays, you can take your words, like we talked about earlier, Chesapeake Bay. I'm going to slide Chesapeake Bay over to right there. Now I think when it disappears like that, what I'm noticing is if you you probably can find it inside of that box and maybe arrange, order, bring to front. There we go. So the words aren't disappearing like I thought. It's just they go in behind everything. So you have to bring the words to the front of your map and then you can see them. So the Chesapeake Bay, I'm close. It's a little bit farther down. It's right, oops, back up. Chesapeake Bay is right in there. Whoops, don't want to move that, do I? Oops, forwards. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Chesapeake Bay is right in there. Okay, so we have the Appalachian Mountains, the Allegheny Mountains, the Chesapeake Bay. I have all of my notes of the names of the colonies. And now I have to move Catskills over to Western New York. Tilt it. Now, if it is disappeared like this, remember, you don't have to worry too much. Oops. Because it's, it goes behind everything. Oh, that one didn't. So we're gonna rotate it. And it's right about maybe up higher. If we're not sure, again, you go back into your Google Drive. You can say Catskill Mountains, and are known to kind of are part of the larger Appalachian Mountains. And let's go maps. Open link. Oh, here we go. Look, Catskill Mountains lie in the southeastern New York State. So let's see what we did. Teach. And so we have to get there over a little bit. They're a little bit up higher. take some time to find the right button, but you can do it. I don't know where that one came from. I'm gonna move that over. Catskills. There we go. Now it's at Eastern New York. I think we're just gonna put it kind of right. I'm gonna get the right guy. There we go. Keep moving the Alleghenies out of. There we go. Catskills are up, but Appalachian Mountains right here. Let me make those. Appalachian Mountains, Allegheny Mountains, Catskill Mountains. They are part of kind of like the Rocky Mountains that we live in. There are lots and lots of mountain ranges that are part of there. The Appalachian Mountains go all the way up, but the Allegheny and the Catskill Mountains are significant mountains from that area. So that is how you can outline your borders, find your mountains, identify your colonies. And then as you can see, I still have rivers to do. Rivers, you can use your squiggle line and you can turn it blue, maybe a little bit thicker. And then I can find, okay, so Ohio River, let's go back. The Ohio River, boys and ears, this, see the Lake Ontario? This river right up here, that's the St. Lawrence. Ohio, here we go. So we know Ohio River is this big wiggly one that goes all the way through the this basin right here, the Great Basin, and then it falls into here. So that is behind the Appalachians, and it starts up around Pennsylvania. So let's see what we can do. So we have our blue tool. We're going to do scribble, and I'm going to just trace. Wiggle line, just trace it so I know where it is. Make it a little bluer. Make it a little fatter by using the one next to it. And then that is the Ohio River. So I'm going to get back to my arrows, select. I'm going to find not Delaware River, Ohio River. Let's move Delaware out of the way. And I'm going to take my word Ohio and put it right on top of that river. And remember, just because it goes white doesn't mean it's disappeared. You have to go to arrange, order, and bring to front. And then we have the Ohio River. And I'm going to make sure that I put it right on top of the Ohio River. See how that works? Okay. So St. Lawrence River, like pointed out to you, is the river that is part of the Canadian border. Where do my tools go? Let's see. It goes down into the Great Basin. So ideally you're going to want the colors to be the same blue. I don't know where my colors went right now, but then I'm going to go back to select, zoom, select. So the arrow will help you select different tools. And then I can take my St. Lawrence and move it over here. Remember, arrange. Where my tools go? Button here. Where'd it go? Oh. Okay, so as you can see, this does take time. You're gonna need some time to do it, but hopefully you can finish your map in your own way. Thanks for listening.